26th Avenue, Bradenton, Florida, the Tropicana juice plant. Hello again, rail fans, and welcome back into another day on the High Iron. It's August 14th, 2021, and on this hot summer morning, we've made the southbound drive into Bradenton in search for a Dash 8 leader of the juice train. The previous day, Q441 had a Dash 8 trailing with an AC44 in the lead, meaning that would be the juice train's consist today, but there is a train that comes into Tampa each day, that being Q045, which, just like 441, usually has two GE wide cabs on the head. Our hopes would fall into disappointment once we saw today's power. Yeoman Yard decided to use 045's power for 0823 this day, which were two usual EC44s. Two nice GEVOs, but still two GEVOs. But enough sulking, let's get to work. O705 pulls out the 15 loads for today's 0823. Remember the Palmetto subdivision video I made from January? Well, if you do, you'll notice that the train assembly takes place not at the US 301 and 41 crossing, but now on the south side of the yard, at 26th Avenue. This was a decision made probably to make less of a citywide traffic jam on main roads, and it's definitely quicker. Whatever chance Tropicana can make on using less of those reefers' fuel, they will take. O823's conductor now throws the switch at milepost 918.1 so that the power and freight cuts can couple on to finish the assembly process. The move takes about 5 minutes, and for that time, the 26th Avenue crossing is blocked. But the small roads traffic is not even close to how bad it gets on 301 and 41. Once the consist has coupled to the reefers, the conductor walks back up to the engines and climbs aboard. O823 is now ready to go, so they'll take their train right up to that 301-41 crossing and wait there to get permission to leave. They also need to have all the bridges on the subdivision let down or swung into place for them to proceed. The first bridge crossing this crew will encounter is the infamous Big Manatee River. By the time we made it and set up at Riverwalk, the Big Manatee River drawbridge was almost fully down. All they had to do now was line and lock it up for 823's passing. The bridge was built between 1926 and 1927 for the Atlantic coastline and is now marked around milepost AZA 914.8. It's a bascule plate girder bridge that simply lifts for boat traffic and lowers for the railroad, just like right now. The bridge is lined and locked, and 0823 is coming now. Got a yellow on the signal mast. This one closest to us is the newest one for northbounds. It is aluminum mast and just a 2-head signal. And then on the other side, we do have the original signals here that have not been replaced yet, but it's only a matter of time. Those guys are on the chopping block for extinction. So let's get them here. Hopefully we don't get too much screaming. Just before 11 a.m., here came 0823 with a yellow on the signal mast and many train enthusiasts. Also, thanks to my dad for this second shot. Leaving Riverwalk was tough with all the traffic lights and Bradenton traffic, but we jumped onto I-75 to try to get to our next location in front of the train. Alright, well, we jumped off of 75, got on 41, and found this little crossing. This is Steak Tomato Road, and that's looking southbound here. And then we got northbound. This is the milepost AZA 893.9. Alright, so we do have a headlight. Good news. We're going to go ahead and get set up and watch them pass. Crossing the Alafia River, we see that in the distance, 0823 has a stop red indication for the East Tampa Spur, as K339, a wet rock local from the Bone Valley, is still trying to get into the port, but a signal malfunction on US 41 is blocking that from happening. The dispatcher's plan was to get 339 into the port and then have 0823 pass on the main, and when 339 made his pickups, to follow 0823 north. But this malfunction made everything stop, giving us enough time to pull off at Santa Fe Road in the middle of Sutton Siding. We caught up to 0823 one last time as he pulled into Yeoman Yard. There was a slow order through the switches there at TS, and he had to stop to throw a yard switch, so this busy road ended up being blocked for about 10 minutes. On the way home, we saw Amtrak PO 91 backing out of the south leg of Navy Y. This is done so that 91 can back into Tampa Union Station, a stub-end station. It was getting hot as ever, so we called it a day. I hope you enjoyed this little outing, but until we meet again on the High Iron, this is Christian from Multicolor Films. End of transmission.